Hey everybody, and welcome to ESL Heroes Spring Qualifier. This is the last chance qualifier, which means that we will have our final two teams who will be going to regionals along with the 6 teams who have already qualified at the end of today. I am Gillyweed. Joining me is Zoia. How are you doing today, Zoia?
Doing pretty fantastic, Gilly. Excited for another day of Heroes of the Storm action. And like you said, this is a very important day as we get our last 2 teams who will qualify for the North American Regionals. They will be joining Cloud9, Bob Ross Fan Club, Tempo Storm, Cognitive Gaming, Panda Global, and Team Blaze.
Nice job with that. And today we'll work a little bit differently than the past qualifiers have gone because it is the last chance qualifier. There are only 8 teams. It's the top 8 teams who didn't qualify but still placed high enough in the other qualifiers in a point system to be able to make it into this qualifier. And because there's only 8 teams, it will be double elimination. So just ensuring that the best 2 teams in this qualifier are the ones who get to make it to regionals in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. End of the month, we're going to see that tournament clash, and then the top 2 from that tournament are going to go to the Spring Championship in Seoul, South Korea, where they'll join 10 other teams across the world for the first global championship of 2016, with a $500,000 prize pool as well.
Yeah, and even a $100,000 prize pool just for our regionals, too. So a lot of money up for grabs. It is the first of 3 championships as part of the Heroes of the Storm Global Championship Circuit. If you want to find out more information about that tournament system, what other teams have qualified thus far for the Global Championship, make sure you follow Esports Heroes on Twitter. You can also tweet using the hashtag HGC. Let us know what you're thinking about these games, who you think is going to qualify throughout the day. And then finally, you can also check out heroesofthestorm.com/esports for updates on the tournament and probably some really cool articles about teams as we get closer to that Global Championship point.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting as 2016 is starting off with a bang, but this day is also starting off with a bang, Gilly, because our draft has started. Now, I did send you a new draft link, so make sure that you open the new one. But guys, it's going to be 2ARC with that first pick, first ban on Cursed Hollow. And,
did I get? Nope, that is not the right one. Here we go. I got it.
Here we go. We are there. And it looks like 2ARC's going to ban Falstad, considered the best auto attack ranged assassin in the game. And very powerful on this map. Mighty Gus controlling the boss points, the mobility he has on such a big map to not only pressure other lanes, but to soak experience and then suddenly show up in a tribute fight last second. He's just really highly prioritized on this map.
Now, I'm really excited that we get to cast both of these teams because they haven't really been teams that you or I have gotten to cover throughout the qualifiers. So a little bit of new stuff. 2ARC has been known in the past for doing some very interesting things, a little bit like Blaze, and we got to cover them in the last qualifier. So hopefully we'll see some cool stuff. I think that they were playing Cho'Gall in the Enter the Storm qualifier that they won versus Resurgence. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see some cool things from them in this series.
Well, 2ARC's going to go ahead with the first pick on Jaina. Mage is considered some of the best damages in the game right now, as it's very hard to negate their damage, as well as the mobility that a lot of them have. So Jaina picked up here from 2ARC, no surprise there. eLevate's going to respond with ETC and Zagara. Zagara is great on this map, the vision she provides, the power of Ma when contesting those boss points, and then ETC, probably one of the better warriors, probably the best warrior that is playable, as Stitches is currently banned from the tournament. With Stitches being removed, ETC being the only top tier warrior available. No surprise to see him picked up before the mid-tier bans.
Sounds like my microphone is too loud, so I'm going to fix that if you wouldn't mind keep going while I get that figured out. Thank you.
Well, Tassadar picked up here from 2ARC, the vision it provides, the stalling it does on tributes. Very great warrior, hero pickup here. And pairing it with the Illidan as well to provide that additional support. So we're going to be seeing Illidan here from 2ARC. No surprise there. LZ Gamer, who has been in the game since the early days of Alpha, might have actually been in the very first wave of invites, has always been an Illidan fan. He's been drafting him back when even Illidan was still really, really bad before his initial rework. So cool to see 2ARC going to run him now that he has been buffed. And then we're going into the mid-tier bans. eLevate looking to deny something. I'm curious if it'll be solo support Tassadar. I don't know.
I like that they kind of forced eLevate into this weird position where it's either Abathur or Uther to ban because of the Illidan and the Tassadar. Tassadar already, plus Divine Shield on top of the Illidan, and that Illidan is never going to die. But at the same time, Abathur Illidan is that classic combination because you can get Adrenal Overload and increase his attack speed. That's huge. Now, we'll see if 2ARC actually want to pick him up here as we get into the next ban phase, but already, I'm loving this. I'm loving that we're getting Illidan right off the bat. It's going to be Tyrande who 2ARC take out of the game.
Yeah, so really interesting bans coming out so far this game. We have 3 supports banned out, which forces eLevate into either Karazim or Brightwing's available. And then there's the Kael'thas. Brightwing going to be great on this map with Falstad banned out. Brightwing has the constant mobile global presence, and something a lot of people may have forgotten is Brightwing is actually really good versus Illidan, especially if 2ARC is going solo support Tassadar. They won't have the cleanse, and if you can catch Illidan in a polymorph, especially when you get greater polymorph, it's very easy to kill them, especially with the amount of lockdown that eLevate has. You get the polymorph, you follow it up with a power slide into a Gravulapse, and Illidan can't metamorphosis to keep himself alive, so I like the pickups from eLevate so far.
Yeah, I love the Brightwing. They have the potential for a lot of global mobility too, if they choose to go with Stage Dive ETC, although they still have a lot of good heroes when it comes to having Mosh Pit. There's no interrupts thus far from any of the members of 2ARC, and that could be a serious problem for them, so they need to be looking at what they can do to stop that. Johanna is going to be the pickup for the Warrior. Let's see if they add another support along with Tassadar, or if they're going to go for this solo support Tassadar that you are hypothesizing.
Yeah, I think it'd be weird to ban Tyrande if you weren't planning on going solo support. I don't know if I would like Karazim. I mean, Karazim would be okay here. It's just, I feel that they lack damage with this composition. We'll see if it can work out. I think solo support Tassadar would be fine if they picked up Abathur here. Just Abathur Illidan is so disgusting.
Yeah.
You just have to be, it's just such a tough call to make. The moment they pick Brightwing, I think they're chokeholded into picking up the support with Cleanse, because without it, Illidan's just going to die every fight. So I think they have to do it, and if they have to go support, I mean, you're not going to go Malfurion, you're not going to go Morales in this situation. Morales can't keep up with Illidan. Oh no, don't do it. That's going to be so tough if they go Morales here. That's going to be so hard. You
can. I was actually listening to Glauron talk about Morales, but you have to play it Illidan completely different, and that would have been really scary. So it looks like it will be Karazim, but you just have to like be really conscious of, like, when you need heals, you have to come back to the healer, and that's obviously going to reduce the amount of time, whereas Karazim at least will be right up there with them, because Tassadar, maybe they're going to go for like the Iron Fists build, at least initially, and then get a little bit more damage out of Karazim. But you're totally right, the damage could be a big concern for 2ARC, especially with eLevate picking up Zoia as their last choice.
Well, interesting drafts from these two teams. It's been a while since we see Zoia in play. Sonya's fine versus Illidan. Is most of her damage, I mean, she does get a significant amount from the auto attacks, but a lot of it does come from the initial combo with the slam and the spear, which Illidan can't dodge. So we'll see if it works out for eLevate. I'm curious as to what heroic that Karazim is going to take. With the new power of Pyroblast, Divine Palm could be pretty important in this matchup. So we'll see. Yeah, but at the same time, having Seven-Sided Strike would be really useful if they can catch Zoia out in front of the team. Even ETC could be really good too, to help burn him down before he can find that good mosh pit and take that concern away from them. We'll see what he chooses to go. That's always the big question when we have Karazim. So we are about to get into this game, guys. It is game number 1. All day they will be best of 3s. Because it's double elimination, how it will work is the winner of the winner's bracket finals will advance, and then the winner of the lower bracket finals will advance. So we're, again, still not going to play the finals, as it just doesn't matter. It's solely to see who is going to qualify. There's not like a cash prize or anything like that. It seems like Tiger is on a bathroom break. Tiger JK, you're the worst, man. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Again, the winter finals, won't be played out, and neither will the loser finals.
Losers finals will. You mean the finals?
Oh yeah, or grand finals, or whatever it is. Yeah. We only need the top 2 teams.
Right.
And we'll keep an eye on how this bracket is going to play out. I think everyone is expecting Resurgence to make it through. as they've been a favorite for a while. But I think that ace spot is a pretty big toss-up.
Yeah.
Both Kings of Blade Alpha, 2-Arc, and eLevate are really looking solid as of late. But I don't think you can count any of these teams out.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of it's going to come down to just who's having a good day. We'll see how it will go from that. Gale Force Esports and OVO Gaming are up toward the top. Can't count out either of them, especially OVO. They've been improving a lot, but it's a lot of people really close together in this bracket, with Resurgence definitely being the clear favorite to advance all the way through.
Well, looks like he's finally here. The game is started, guys. Game number 1 of our best of 3 series, 2-Arc versus Team eLevate. Get excited in the chat because this is a very important tournament for these teams. Top 2 make it to regionals, and I know everyone wants that more than anything right now.
Yeah, the chance to be able to go to the LAN, hang out with everybody, be able to fight for one of those 2 coveted spots, to be able to travel to Seoul all the way across the world to South Korea would be really cool for these teams. But there are a lot of really strong teams here in NA waiting in the wings who have already qualified. But this is the last chance for each team to do so.
Load screen is here. Cursed Hollow, please load faster. I believe in you.
It's our favorite time of day. The loading screen.
The loading screen. Look at that monkey portrait. It tilts me. Here we go, guys. On the left-hand side of the map in the blue trucks, we're going to have eLevate. It's going to be Nesper playing Zoia, Boss Floss on ETC, Hawkfu playing Zagara, Nightmare on Kel'Thas, and June running out the team on Brightwing.
And their opponents, 2-Arc in red, we have Sunshine playing Johanna, Trader playing Jaina, LZ Gamer playing Tassadar, and in the bottom, Karzim will be played by Tiger JK, and Crowan will be playing that Illidan.
Well, let's take a look here at these 2 teams as they try and face off now. It will be the support Karzim, as Transcendence was picked up. So we're going to be going for a full support build. I'm curious again at what level 10 we'll see here, as both have their place. And both teams rotating up. LZ Gamer with his vision that was going to reveal where Nesper and Boss Floss are. And it looks like we're going to be avoiding a fight.
We'll see how they start to rotate out into the lanes. It looks like it will be Tassadar and Jaina up in top for now, but Tassadar are a pretty capable solo laner. We may see that Jaina rotate around. For now, eLevate have 4 members into the mid. Probably we'll see Brightwing start to rotate up, and that is what is looking like it's going to happen. Brightwing, another really good solo laner, as is Zoia, so they have a lot of good potential ones, and it looks like they're going to send 3 people up. Maybe try to catch Trader out here and get the first blood.
Well, they're trying for it. He's very far forward. He's trying to kite back, but no collapse just in time for Trader to be able to kite back there. Zagara versus Illidan and Karazim. Now, no surprise to see these 2 together. Until Illidan gets level 4, his laning phase is just extremely weak. He cannot solo lane by himself, especially versus Zagara. So no surprise seeing Tiger JK down there at the start. I'm curious if he will rotate back down after he does end up coming mid. And actually it's going to send Joanna top to help deal with that tri-lane up there.
Yeah, the push has been pretty strong. Nesper looking for the rotation up. They know that it's potential, and Sunshine is going to find him hanging out in the bush and push him back into his base a bit. But yeah, Zagara is going to make Crowan's life pretty difficult there, and you can already see he's pushing him back out of the lane. But up in the top, that's where the story's going on. Tri-lane on both sides.
Well, it's been a long time since we've seen the old tri-lane.
Yeah.
As it's been very gank-centric and very burst-heavy type playstyle where most people just go for ganks. And this is what I'm talking about. Crowan having a little bit of difficulty of laning versus the Zagara. He just doesn't have the wave clear to deal with it. And the Pope from Hawkfu, Zagara is one of the better counters versus Illidan. Heroes that can do easy direct damage, such as Zagara. Funny enough, Tychus used to be one of the best counters to Illidan just because of how his Q works. It's just pure constant damage on Illidan he can't avoid.
I love the decision-making and map sense. They knew when the Giants were going to spawn and when they were going to get 4, and you mentioned Immolation, and that's really when Illidan can start being the solo mercenary can't pick up, and that's going to be great that they're going to have that pushing. But unfortunately for them, it is going to be a bottom spawn for the Tribute, so it will be a little bit better for eLevate to have those Giants pushing up top, especially if they can delay and make this fight go a long time. Those will be pushing with Brightwing even up in top, who can phase shift in if her team needs her.
Yeah, this is the advantage of Brightwing on this map here, and she'll be joining the fight. Something gets forced here. Tiger JK already getting poked pretty low. Good flame strikes coming out from Nightmare to try and zone. When it comes to the poke war, as long as it's a longer fight, I think that 2Arc has the advantage here. But Sunshine going in deep on the boss plots. Brightwing teleporting in. Nice turnaround on the Crow, and Polymorph goes down. Nesper trying to push them back with his slams. Gravity Lapse connects with Trader, but he's going to be just fine. They're kiting back. Good heals from Tiger so far, and he's keeping everyone alive with LZ, but he's starting to get very himself. Trader gets hit with the flame strike. Hawkfu going for the cap. Tassadar needs to get one more storm off to be able to stall that out. And now with Brightwing here, yes, they're no longer stuck in top, but they still have those siege giants pushing in that wall. So this is still a great position for eLevate to be in.
Yeah, the poke is really good when you have the double support like 2Arc do, but a lot of them have used their well taps now, and everyone looks very healthy from eLevate, even though it is just the Brightwing keeping everybody alive. They're doing a good job of grouping up for those heals occasionally when they need them, standing next to her to be able to keep that up. And Hawkfu is a really great hero to have for poking, but now in a bit of trouble. Crowan going after them, but takes a bunch of damage himself and has to start moving back away. Arcane Flare goes out trying to catch him, but still no one able to cap this tribute just yet.
Still great heals coming up from Tiger and LZ. And it looks like they're finally decided, you know what, we're not going to win this. They realize that until they get heroics, they might be able to stall it out one more time, as LZ Gamer does look like he wanted to go for the Storm, but Nesper zones them out. That's going to be the first tribute of the game going over to eLevate. And I mean, yeah, they had to back out there. The Giants in the top lane got that entire front wall. They're going to start working on the fort soon. They were behind in experience, so they were going to lose the fight to level 7. And then Tiger JK was just very, very so they had to give that up. Good shot calling coming out from 2Arc to know to back out there.
Level 7 getting picked up, and an interesting choice on Zoia, as we're going to have Mercenary Lord. So a more push-centered Zoia, at least when it comes to the laning phase. And if they can have some mercenaries pushing, not necessarily obviously the boss, but other mercenaries, especially with curses, then they can get a lot of utility out of those mercenaries. Looking at some of the other talents that we have, it will be Battle Momentum on Zagara. That seems to be very standard. Battle Momentum also on Johanna, though, just trying to help make sure that she has her abilities up more often and can control the fights a little bit better.
Pretty standard build coming out from Miller in this game. We'll see, it should not be a hunt game. We're not quite there yet, guys. One day, maybe. Brightwing soaking that top lane, still pushing in. That's damaging that fort. And then Sunshine going deep, knowing that he has to force Brightwing to teleport, going in on top of Nesper, and that's going to be a very dead Sunshine. He gets Iron Skin pop, but doesn't matter. June goes down at the same time, though, with phase shifting in on top of 5 members. It's very hard for Brightwing to survive, but she doesn't have Blink Kill just yet. Nesper trading as well as he can, getting poked down, though. Flame Strike comes out, misses everyone, though. Living Bomb goes down on the Tiger AJK. Nice body blocks on the boss floss. That's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of 2Arc.
Yeah, it's really huge to be able to pick up the support there and the soul support at that. And that means that 2Arc will not only be able to get a few kills off of that, but also the tribute, tie up the tribute count, and looks like checking the boss, wanting to move down into the bottom, really, though, and get that lane pushed as much as possible. Try to drain the ammo, as that has been Zagara's lane. So if they can get that push, grab the Giants, and push along with that, too, they're just limiting the amount of free soak and free push that Zagara has in this game.
Two things happened there that allowed them to force this fight. Level 7 picked up for both Karazim and Illidan. First aid on Illidan allows him to be more aggressive. It's a big heal that can keep him in the fight. And then level 7 for Karazim, Echo of Heaven, the additional heals, just allows Illidan to dive in more deep and just try and secure those kills. Before, it was just too much of a risk because he is very squishy, but with first aid plus the Echo of Heaven on Karazim, he's allowed to be a lot more aggressive. And I feel that eLevate wasn't quite prepared for that.
I really liked the pickup of Overtake, too, for Karazim, because when he uses Deadly Reach, he's going to have more movement speed, and that's going to be necessary in trying to keep up with that Illidan, too, and if he has to go up far forward. And speaking of Illidan, he's going to be able to get a quick takedown on Zagara just in time for the next tribute, and with that, grab heroic abilities. We do have Metamorphosis. It's the first pickup. We'll see what the rest of the team chooses to grab.
Yeah, he even hesitated. He knew, right? You're not going to go hunt ever.
Yeah.
That's Force Wall. We'll see if it's going to be Ring of Frost or Water Elemental. And then, so we'll be Ring of Frost, and I'm curious, will it be Seven Side Strikes or will it be the Divine Palm? Divine Palm is more of an NA/Korean type split, or not NA, EU/Korean type split. Style. We haven't seen it affect. The only consistent Divine Palm taker in NA is Kenma. Fan club. And it will be Seven-Sided Strikes.
On the other side, we have Wrath of the Berserker, Mosh Pit, Devouring Maw, Blink Heal, and Phoenix for eLevate in their heroic abilities. Sonya does have the Mercenary Lord starting to work on taking out this boss, but Tiger JK realizes it, and Nesper is going to have to leash this. Tiger JK going to make sure that he doesn't start healing back up. Brightwing coming back in, but there's still 3 members. Johanna on her way too. Zagara very far from the rest of the fight, but ETC and Kael'thas will be here very soon. Who's going to get this boss?
It's such a struggle for Tuark here as Illidan's still not in the fight. Hawkfu looking for the flank. Boss is so low. And that's going to be a very early death on Joanna, and a good Ring of Frost comes out. Nesper taking a lot of damage. Tiger JK gets onto the point, though. Can he get the 7-sided strikes down? He needs to get someone else on the point, though, before he does it. And no, the boss does end up going over to eLevate there. Tiger JK trying to kite back. Crowan doing a lot of damage in the backline, but great heals from June. But Kael'thas does end up falling, and Crowan is not stopping. The kill on Nesper as well. And they're going to try and get one more onto Hawkfu, just showing you the power, the destructive force that is known as Illidan. 7-sided strikes was used there. That's what got him off of the point, and no one from Tuark repositioned themselves onto it, so the boss did end up going to eLevate, but what a destructive fight for Tuark winning that, and now they're up kills 8-2.
Yeah, but at what cost? At getting the boss, losing 4 people, 13 going to be acquired quicker for Tuark as they are full level ahead. Boss Floss does get here in time, and June's going to rotate in with the phase shift, so they might still be able to try to stop this. Tassadar still at the bottom trying to deal with that boss, but everyone else is coming up from Tuark as there is Trader and Crow, and Nightmare is here too. Can he get a good gravity lapse to help out the team? Phoenix goes down just a delay, but Trader is tanking it, and that means that Tiger JK is going to grab the tribute.
Yep, really great grab there from Tuark. You know, it's stinks for them because they're probably going to lose their bottom keep. Well, nope, the fort did end up standing. So as long as that doesn't go down, they're in a fantastic spot. It's just about to hit level 13. Pretty big advantage for Tuark. We'll see what damage they can do with this curse. Everyone's kind of spread out. Everyone was low from that fight, so they immediately end up having to back out, which lowers the amount of push they can do. But we have that tri-lane in the top. Looks like Joanna's headed down there. The bottom lane, we have LZ Gamer shoving with this bottom lane, and Nesper going for a flank. He does end up scouting it out. He's going to end up falling back there. But so far, really great play coming out from Tuark, and you know, they're going to get about a 2-level lead off of this curse.
The talent I hardly ever see for Johanna picked up Subdue does increase punishes slow from 60% to 80% and increases the duration by a second. I like that pickup if they're really just trying to focus on the Illidan, making sure that he can keep up with them. He's already, it's so difficult already to get away from an Illidan because he can catch up with you with dive, with sweeping strike as well. Adding that increased slow, top that off with the slows from Jaina, and it's going to be just impossible to get away from Crowan once he catches his target.
Iron Skid popped on Joanna as they do end up backing out of here. About a 1.25 lead for Tuark as we are getting closer to those level 16 talents. About 11.5 until they have that. And we'll see what they plan on doing with this time. There's still a boss up in the top right that you pointed out earlier. They're going to go ahead and start their Bruiser camp though. Level 13 picked up here for eLevate. Chain Bomb's still very, very good. We'll be seeing Shield Dust from Brightwing as well, which will help out quite a bit versus the Jaina. And then a Spell Shield on Sonya. Multiple of these fights, we've been seeing Nesper getting very, very low from the Blizzard Kona Cold combo.
Yeah, that's the issue with Brightwing as the solo heal, is her healing output is not a ton, and up against a double support, they're having trouble with these long sustained fights, so anything that they can do to help, and adding to that, they also have groupies as well as the prog rock to increase the healing from that, so just doing whatever they can to try to help out with that Brightwing heals, but now Boss Boss caught, immediately gets taken out, and there's the power of 7-sided strike when you catch somebody out of position by themselves, and with that, eLevate's gonna have to back up once again. They can't contend, and Tuark know that. They're going straight for their boss.
Yeah, that's really great shot calling coming out from Tuark. I mean, these guys have been playing this game for such a long time. Tiger, JK, Sunshine, like all 5 of these guys, LZ, Trader. I mean, Trader, the original Tuark. I mean, these guys are well versed in this game, and they know how to shot call. They know the decision making that the top teams have been doing for such a long time. So really good calls coming out from them. As they're about a half level until level 16, Sunshine is going to get them much closer by clearing out this mid lane. June, doing the best he can to slow multiple lanes here and just constantly be on the opposite side of the map of his team. But they're still down about a 1.25 as Tuark's about to hit level 16.
Yep, they're moving in toward the bottom two. This boss will be up in a minute, but it is also the final remaining fort on the side of eLevate too. So if they can push into this, take this out, look to start working on keep pressure too. And Brightwing's going to phase shift away, go up to top with her team, knowing that with everyone here, it's very dangerous to be there by themselves, and especially because they're down a full level and a big talent tier too.
Well, that bottom fort is about to go down. That's all 3 forts down for eLevate. That's so much match pressure that they have to deal with. And they have to give up this tribute here. As you see, Zagara is going top to try and even out the experience. If they can push that together and get them a fort, that'll get them level 16. Kel'Thas here has to be very careful with his positioning. I was afraid that Nightmare was going to go in for a stall with Flame Strike, but he decides not to do it. Good call there, as he would potentially get punished by Blessed Shield, and then just, how do you get away from the Illidan that's flipping all over you?
Yeah, you don't. And especially now that they have Numbing Blast too, it's all designed to help and make sure that Illidan gets the kill on whoever he targets. But the top fort will go down, and that's helping eLevate a lot get back into this with experience, as they're just about to pick up their 16 talents. They haven't lost a keep yet, which is really important, so they can look to get into a fight, but it's likely going to be around that boss, as that's where 2ARC are posturing, maybe looking to get a pick from somebody rotating down to check the boss, and they're pretty far forward here.
Well, we do see that they're going to go ahead and back up to this tribute here. They're tied 1-1 right now. Brightwing in the top lane does get them level 16, and is still pushing in that keep. Let's see if they can force a fight, though. They have to be very, very careful. This is not a cursed tribute just yet, but the winning team is going to feel much more comfortable going into this. And this is such a scary fight for eLevate to take, but they're going hard on top of Sunshine. He gets a big condemn going now. He's taking a lot of damage, though. Can they keep him alive? Grindouts Pest? No, that's a very dead Joanna, but they cap themselves the tribute. Crow and trying to back out. Ring of Frost use only hits ETC, and it looks like they should be able to disengage with this. They did lose Joanna, but they got themselves the tribute, and Joanna will be alive before the next tribute, but I think this is going to give eLevate a boss.
Yeah, that's really important that they're able to get this. They've already taken down the fort in the bottom lane, so it would push on to the keep. And looking at this, if they can get this going and pushing, and hopefully they can push a little bit with it, but then set up for a really good team presence around the next tribute fight, because they need to make sure that they don't give another curse over to 2ARC, because that's when they would start losing some keeps. With that level 16, we also have Backdraft. So with the nerf to Arcane Barrier, we're going to see Nightmare pick up Backdraft instead, increases the slows, allows, it's kind of the same, right, as Illidan, as it allows Sonya to make sure that she can keep up with her target too, and especially where she doesn't have Mystical Spear, she has to make sure that she hits that to be able to catch up to them, sacrificing that to have that spell shield.
Yeah, it's an interesting pickup for sure. I would personally be too afraid to give up Arcane Barrier versus an Illidan, who's just been riding me all game, but I guess the point is, like you said, to slow them down so they can force that engagement. And we'll see what they can do with it. Nightmare is sieging in here pretty hard. Sunshine comes in with a big condemn. Crow and goes straight on the Nightmare like we were talking about. He does not have that Arcane Barrier, but he gets shielded up by the Brightwing. And Illidan gets punished very, very hard, but a good Blizzard Ring of Frost hits both June and Zagara, and June does end up falling. A 1-for-1 exchange so far, but the advantage goes over to 2ARC, as they still have their supports. They can keep this fight going, but no, they do end up losing Joanna as well. The boss takes the keep, and this is a huge win for eLevate.
Great pick by Nesper and Bossloss to realize that they can catch that Johanna, because that's huge. Not having the warrior now, being down one person, is going to make it contesting this tribute very difficult. And eLevate looked like they're going to excuse me, move up toward that, and likely we'll just see 2ARC push out the lanes. They know that they're not facing a curse yet, and they'd rather wait until they have the advantage, or at least be caught back up. But with that, finally eLevate are going to retake the experience lead, so very back and forth for both of these teams this game.
That's going to be the Bruiser camp being invaded by eLevate. They're going to be able to secure that. Nice rotations coming out from them. LZ Gamer bullying Boss Loss here. Brightwing teleporting in. Has to be careful. And they're going to go ahead and back up. Boss spawns in 20 seconds. Probably around the time that the next tribute's going to spawn. And it's going to be, if this is a one-sided win for any team, this is going to be devastating. As they'll get, but this is a tribute that's going to give a curse, and then there's that boss follow-up on top of it. So whoever wins this next tribute fight, if it happens to be like another 5-for-2 exchange, that team could potentially close out the game with a boss and a curse.
Yeah. Be able to pick that up. It'll go through the keep very quickly and then be very healthy, and then they can move in and use that to be able to take out the core. But for now, eLevate have a slight experience lead, and they can try to have their heroic or their storm tier talents before their opponents. Once again, we see 2Arc sacrificing getting into the lane and soaking for looking for somebody who is rotating up to check this boss. But so far, the rotation hasn't come in here this way yet. eLevate looking, they know that they're off the map. They know that 2Arc is somewhere waiting for them. They've already done that, and they're going to spot it out with a great infested drop, making sure they don't lose anybody before this pick.
Well, the tribute spawns in the bottom left, Gilly. We're going to see who can come out on top. Still about a half level to go until eLevate has 20, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get that for this fight. Looks like they're going to have to force the fight pre-20. June coming in here, leading the charge with Nightmare as they're going to try and make this fight happen. They're in a pretty scary choke right now, though, but June's teleporting on the Nesper to force the engagement here. He does get the shield shun side, taking some light damage. Gravity Lapse connects. Good heals from Tiger JK and LZ Gamer so far to keep him topped off, but he's getting poked down so fast, and they need to force a fight or something, but Illidan gets immediately annihilated, just showing you the power of that lockdown onto this hero and the potential need of Divine Palm when going against so much CC there. But they're going to go ahead and back out. That's going to be a curse for eLevate. Now, they still have 4 members up, so if they can try and defend the boss, but with 20 tier right here, this might be really bad for 2Arc.
Yeah, at least they only lost one. That was really key that they only lost one person, and there is going to be some time involved for eLevate to pick up this boss. But for now, 2Arc need to get their 20s too, because they're facing the Storm talents that are starting to come out. We have 2 Bolts of the Storm, as well as Rewind for Brightwing, and that's huge to be able to have the double polymorph now for Illidan. We also have Ignore Pain, and then ETC still trying to decide on that. Is that going to be Deathmosh or it's going to be Tour Bus? But there is level 20, so at least with the lanes pushed, 2Arc were able to get those very quickly too, without having to get too far outside of their base. So now they will at least not be facing the Storm talents as well as a Curse and a boss, but they're still facing Curse and boss.
Yeah, they could potentially lose core here if eLevate goes for the big push, but they're trying to force the fight before the boss gets here. Get some light damage onto Boss Floss, but here is that boss. It's going full HP straight onto core Gilly, and with the catapults pushing bottom lane as well, this could potentially be game, and that's going to be Illidan very, very dead. You know, I talked about it in the draft. The need of cleanse versus this much CC was not picked up. The need of Divine Palm could save so many lives on Illidan, and it just wasn't there. Sunshine proccing that indestructible, getting very low. Trader getting focused down by Nesper and Boss Floss. He's just barely going to get inside the safety of his base, but it's a 5 versus 4. LZ getting low. Tiger JK trying to reposition himself. Good polymorph goes down onto the Joanna, but that's going to be the death of Tassler, and I think that's it, Gilly. Game number 1 is going to go over to Team eLevate.
The GGs come out. The boss slams down onto Tiger JK, and the core will fall. And yeah, eLevate doing a great job of being able to come back in that too, and especially when they looked down, losing the first curse, and then having to really come back and finally getting a curse right when it mattered toward the end. Great job of not, freaking out when you find yourself behind there, knowing that they just have to wait, be patient, and make sure that they can catch out Illidan. Once they started doing that, that was really what started to turn things around for them.
Yeah, it's, Illidan's tough to make work. You have to have some form of safety net for him. That's why Rhaegar is one of the best healers for him. Rhaegar having both cleanse and ancestral healing when he does get in those situations. If Illidan lives through that burst, the fight's over. Like, Illidan will just steamroll the competition. But the trouble is making him live through that, and 2Arc's talents just weren't efficiently picked for keeping Illidan alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the problem with Karzim, is to give up Echo of Heaven is such a huge decision to make. Some other healers, it's not so bad to pick up Cleanse. You don't really give up as much, but Echo of Heaven is what really makes Karzim throw out a lot more heals, and especially once you get Circle of Life at level 16. But they're not out of it yet. This is a best of 3, and 2Arc have all they need to be able to come back in this series. Let's see if they can make it happen, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, game number 2.
my glasses.
Hey friends, we're back. We just had to, wait for Zoia to clean his glasses. But we are now here, and we're about ready for the draft for game number 2. Looks like we're going to be on Sky Temple. eLevate, if they can take this, they'd love to. It'd be a quick 2-0 win, and they can move on into one step closer to being able to claim one of those spots. Looking at what we have so far, it looks like no teams have advanced thus far in the brackets. It'd be pretty fast 2-0 if so. You are muted. I was like, are you going to talk? Or should I just...
I'm muted. Yeah.
Okay.
Good call, Gilly. Wow. You said there's someone already got 2-0'd?
No, I was saying, I was checking to see if anybody had advanced in the bracket.
I was like, what? Who got bodied that fast?
No. And I was saying that would be a really fast 2-0 if so it makes sense that we don't have anything yet.
Okay. I was confused. I was like,
don't you worry, buddy.
What happened?
Stirred up drama.
But, we'll get that draft going any second now, as we're waiting on Turek to ready up. Sky Temple is going to be the map. I think one of the more balanced competitive maps. I don't think too many people have any complaints about it. I know it's not anyone's favorite right now when it comes to the pro scene. Like, no one just, says, you know what, I love Sky Temple. It's our best map. We're only ever going to play it. But it's not a map that anyone goes, oh, I'm so bad on Sky Temple. We just have to ban it out. It's just a map that everyone's comfortable with. And, it's been a staple of the competitive scene for a while.
It's like a solid 7. 6.5 even.
Tilted.
My apologies. It's too early in the day to tilt Zoia, guys. We'll reserve that for later on. Still waiting for Turek to ready up. Sky Temple could likely see a very early prioritization of Zagara once again. LZ Gamer, I'm pretty sure, is a big Zagara player, but Hawkfu, that's like his favorite hero. And we see them try to pick that up pretty early on, fairly often, on lots of different maps. We saw it in the last game too. It was their first pick. I think it's very likely that we could see them first pick it once again if it goes through the ban phases, as she sometimes gets banned too.
Yeah. And, speaking about Hawkfu, I mean, we talked about how everyone on the N2 art, they've been around since the early days of the alpha and beta. These are names we've been casting forever. But Hawkfu, I mean, he's been around since the very beginning as well. Someone that I've been casting since the very first Heroes tournament, the ESV Championship Series. He was one of the players in that. I don't remember. Cool. I think he played for, what was the name of his old team? I don't remember. But he's been around for a long time too. So, these guys have been in the scene for quite a while.
I can look that up for you. I'm looking it up right now. Clairvoyant Gaming? Team Heroes hype?
Yes, Clairvoyant Gaming.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's
Hawkfu's
been around for a long time. So, a lot of these guys have been around, staples of the community for such a long time. But, guys, we have that draft started. Game number 2, Sky Temple is the map, and eLevate with that first pick, first ban. They're going to go ahead and deny the Falstad. He's just so good, especially on maps with bosses. He is just way too good. That's
the second first pick we've had. Both teams choosing to ban that out. Turek, once again, are going to ban Rhaegar, and there she is. Zagara is back once again.
Yeah, definitely hitting the nail on the head there, Gilly, when you're saying that it is definitely a comfort pick on the end of eLevate. Turek going to respond with ETC Jaina. Turek really showing the value of Jaina as they've drafted her both times. And then, again, with the Stitches being banned out this tournament, ETC being the go-to warrior. No surprise there. eLevate. Ooh, really interesting early pickup here on Kael Thos, potentially.
So, Nightmare is the newest... Well, Basics isn't playing in this tournament for eLevate. Not sure what's going on, but Nightmare is at least filling in for this tournament. And Nightmare is... that's like his favorite, like his best hero is KT, so that might just be comfort. Besides the fact that, with Phoenix, you've got some really good zoning around the temples, and a chain bomb can be really tough to deal with around the temples too, because you are more grouped up trying to stand on there and fight on it. So that might be the look at what they're going to, just making sure that they secure the exact damage dealers that they want in Zagara as well as Kael'thas. Brightwing going to be the next pickup too, so looks like they're just very comfortable in what they had in the last game and just want to make sure that they have as much of that again as possible.
You have to also keep in mind that when teams, elevate into our they're at about the same level of play. They're not at the top where they consistently, get good matches versus like Cloud9 and Bob Ross. So when teams, are on the lower end of the competitive spectrum, they end up being scrim partners more often than not. And I would not be too surprised if 2Ark was just spamming Illidan games 24/7, and Elevate's just aware of that, and they're just going to put early, picks on the Brightwing to avoid it getting banned out.
Yeah, and they will have so much great heroes, so many great heroes for laning between Brightwing and Zagara. They have a lot of options for that. 2Ark though, we have bans on Muradin and Uther. I like the Muradin ban, just restricting the warriors even further for Elevate to pick up. Elevate were the ones playing ETC last time, so we'll see what they choose to have there. Likely Johanna will be the pickup, but Thrall is going to be the choice for 2Ark. Although they won't be able to have Uther. That has been banned once again by Elevate.
Surprising seeing Uther bans. I guess that's just with Rhaegar being banned again. A very good hero with Illidan, as it does have that instant save. And Cleanse is a more frequent picked. I don't think you ever actually not see Cleanse on Uther.
Yeah, I mean, the Kharazim didn't work out great for them for 2Ark before, because of the fact that they felt like they couldn't take Cleanse. They needed Echo of Heaven, and they've taken out both of the heroes that deal really well with initial bursts, Rhaegar and Ancestral Healing, and Uther with the Divine Shield. And with Elevate picking up Brightwing, they kind of force 2Ark into a chokehold with supports as much as possible. It looks like they're going to have Tyrande. Whether they'll be Tassadar Tyrande or if it'll just be Tyrande solo heal kind of remains to be seen, though.
Well, we're about to figure out how this game is going to play out here. Tassadar pick I like a lot. It's just so good versus Zeratul.
Yeah.
And this is going to be an interesting game. I'm still not a fan of Tassadar duo support, but we'll see how it's going to play out here.
What is it that you're not a fan of in that?
I just don't feel that either of them should be in the... Toronto works as a solo support, or used to at least. I don't think she does anymore. I just feel that it's not enough of either situation. You don't have enough damage from either room. You don't have enough support from either room. I feel it's just most of the time better to just pick a true support and then pick a true damage, because a true support will do better supporting than those two, and a true damage will do better damage than those two.
Well, the countdown has started. We'll see if 2Ark can make that Tassadar Tyrande work and bring it back to a game number 3 on Sky Temple right here, or if Elevate are going to get a quick 2-0 victory and move on into the next stage of the bracket, the round of 4. One team will be able to just play, it would be 3 best of 3s and then qualify. The other team has a much longer road trying to qualify through the lower bracket.
Well, guys, let's get excited here. Raise your dongers if you're here for Elevate, or drop the kappas if you're here for 2Ark, or get silly for the Gilly. Whichever weird thing you want to do.
Get excited for my Boya. It's the Zoia.
No.
Why can you say get silly for the Gilly? Okay, we'll continue this conversation later as we're into the game. You're safe from it for now. In the blue, we have Elevate, who is up 1-0 in this best of 3. We have Boss Floss playing Johanna. Hakfu, of course, playing Zagara. June on Brightwing once again. Nightmare playing Kael'thas. And finally, Nesper playing Zeratul.
On the right-hand side of the map, down 0-1. They definitely don't want to get knocked to the lower bracket this early on. It's going to be 2Ark. Trader on Jaina. Crowan playing the Thrall. LZ Gamer on Tassadar. Tiger JK playing Tyrande. And Sunshine rounding out the team on the ETC.
The gates are about to open. And there they go. And we've paused the game.
We've got to pause as Nesper has DC'd. Well, as we wait for these guys to get back in the game. Sky Temple. Pretty fun map. And we'll have to see the value of Brightwing on this, as she has that global presence. Usually shove her in that bottom lane. Depends on where you want to actually put her. Most of the time you'll see the globals in the bottom lane, but
Yeah.
if they want to put Zagara down there to apply early pressure, that might be better, especially if the Thrallas are going to be their solo laner as well. But it looks like Nesper is back in the game.
Yeah, it kind of depends where they want to get that big push going. Like, if they want to put Zagara in the bottom and try to get a good push going onto those towers so that they can hopefully win the second temple phase and get a fort off of that, or if they want to put her up top, get a good push onto the tower's top, and then potentially just try to control that top one, since usually it's the middle shrine that's contested. They could instead just go for top and then try to get an early fort off of that, finish it off with the bruisers if necessary. Both teams moving down toward the boss. It's interesting.
Yeah, really wanting to just potentially catch someone out in an awkward rotation. We'll have to see where these guys want to end up going. And it will be Zagara on the bottom lane, Hawkfu going to be shoving that lane. Brightwing going to be at the top with Nightmare probably just shoving in that lane, and yeah, we'll be Thrall on the bottom. So the two solo laners end up in the bottom lane, and we'll see who's all going to rotate up when those shrines spawn.
Now, last game we talked about how it was tough for 2ARC without cleanse, and especially up against ETC, but just in general, all of the chain stuns that eLevate had. eLevate are facing a similar situation now because they have Brightwing as their support. You lose a lot by not picking up Phase Shield, and they are up against ETC, the potential for Mosh Pit. There's Sundering and Feral Spirit, too, and of course, Lunar Flare from Tyrande. So they're kind of finding themselves in the exact same position they put 2ARC in the last game.
Well, we'll see what they can do to try and turn this around. There's a really good push coming out from 2ARC there. And the Shrines are spawning in 10 seconds. We'll see if Thrall and Zagara are going to end up rotating up. They might just leave. I mean, I don't see the reason for eLevate to want to have Hawkfu rotate up, as he is winning this lane very, very hard right now.
Yeah.
You can just keep shoving in and eventually get some structure damage.
And we'll see for now, 2ARC holding that mid-temple up top, going to be held by eLevate. One of the teams may try to rotate around and deny some of the shots, delay it so that they can get them on different timings for those shots, so then they can finish their temple faster and move down and get the last few shots from that. But for now, it looks like they're just going to evenly trade. And both look to pick up level 4 as well, making sure they're soaking the lanes. It's going to be grabbed a little bit early for 2ARC, but eLevate are going to grab it just now as well.
Well, shots being fired here at the middle temple for both, or for 2ARC. They get the front wall down, and they're going to get that early well as well. So that's it's always really good if you control the middle shrine. As when it comes to rotations, usually you end up passing through mid. You want to tap well, and you get it. But ooh, actually, an early first blood here as Nightmare does end up getting picked, and they're going to try and collapse on the Nesper here. He does blink out a no stun from Tiger JK, but about a half level lead now for 2ARC here in this game.
Yep, and for now, Crowan starting to push Hawkfu back as much as he can, but taking a lot of damage from that poke from Hawkfu, who has been already draining the towers a lot from ammo, so really in control of this bottom lane. Brightwing did pick up Peekaboo at level 4, so we'll be able to help check out for the rotations that come in. It's a very rotation-heavy map, and especially around that bottom lane. Being able to see where everyone's coming in from into that bottom temple, into any temple really, will be a big help to them. But for now, they just need to catch back up in experience, make sure that they're on the same talent tier for when the next temple phase happens.
Level 7, we'll see what talents they are going to end up picking up. LZ Gamer going to go ahead and go back in the top lane. He should be able to get back before most of the experience is missed. Level 7 so close, and both teams should be able to get 7 though by this time. And you see that Brightwing still sitting in that top lane with the ability to phase shift down. Gives them again that advantage, and knowing these rotations, knowing the spawns of the shrines helps out so much when you have a hero like Brightwing.
Yep. They're going to start working on that top floor. It's already been taken down quite a bit. Nesper even going to come in too and maybe look for a kill onto LZ Gamer. He does have Dimensional Shift, so that is at least, it makes it a lot more difficult to get a pick onto Tastar, and they won't be able to do so. 2ARC to start working on their Giants. Looks like there's not going to be an invade from eLevate to try to stop this, as they're just now picking up level 7. They're really focusing on trying to get that top fort.
Yeah, they want it as fast as they can. Just taking structures this early on is always huge, and just save shots for later on. That's going to be the first fort of the game. Going over to eLevate, and they're going to be able to back out of here. Nesper and Nightmare should be fine. Gravity Ups does go down, but does not connect with anyone. They're going to start that rotation, and if you look at the damage in the bottom lane, it's not much, but Hafu has a slight lead, so if they do control most of those shots, they do get a little bit of an advantage there. And there we go, June sitting in that top lane, waiting patiently to go down. He's going to soak experience, try and tie up the game for his team, because they're still down about a half a level.
Neither team grabbed their bruisers, so they won't have that concern against them pushing into that top lane, especially because eLevate were just picking up the fort instead. Sunshine going to start power sliding in, trying to push Boss Floss back into his team. Does have vulnerability on him, but doesn't take too much damage from that, as the Peekaboo showing exactly where everyone is. Sunshine getting really low, the Fission Bomb doing a bunch of damage, and he will get taken out.
Really nice kill coming out for eLevate, and now they should be able to control this. Ooh, good Lunar Flare from Tiger JK, almost killing Nesper, but he gets low himself because of that. Hawkfu getting low. This is really tough heals coming out for June. Again, does not have that the blink kill, so it's a struggle for him to keep his team alive, but he's doing an excellent job of it so far, and that is ETC being back in the fight. He is on his way down, just rezzed, but looks like the last of the shots should end up going over to eLevate, and his Sniper's getting very low. Good contend for Boss Floss, but not there in time to save Nightmare. Nightmare with a really awkward overextension.
Yep, a couple of chain stuns were able to take him out, as well as Zagara. So 2 takedowns now in favor of 2ARC, pushing them closer to the heroic abilities. And with that, eLevate have to leave the bottom temple, which means they won't be able to get the last few shots from that. But it shouldn't be enough to take out that fort from eLevate, and 2ARC know it. They know that they have their heroic abilities, and they have the threat of Mosh Pit as well as Sundering. So they may start to just push in here and take out this fort, and that is exactly what they're going to do. ETC even coming around looking for a potential flank in case he sees someone move too far forward and help them get another kill, but not seeing that, eLevate just have to give this fort up.
You have to respect the Jaina Tyrande in these situations. Even without the CC, Hunter's Mark plus Blizzard equals dead squishy. And you have to respect it. Level 10 picked up here for 2ARC. We're going to have Shadowstalk, Force Wall, Sundering, Mosh Pit, and Ring of Frost. Keep in mind that Sundering did recently get nerfed. I believe it had 10 seconds added to its cooldown, so a little bit longer of a gap before we'll see it. And then the heroics picked up here for eLevate. Going to be Phoenix, Blink Kill, Bless Shield, Devouring Maw, and then Void Prison.
So they'll really have to watch out for the Devouring Maw plus the Void Prison. Make sure that they're not overlapping those and wasting them, especially because they both do have such long cooldown timers. Let's see how they make that work. But same can be said for Mosh Pit and Sundering too. So we'll see if they're able to combo those along with the Ring of Frost to be able to wombo and get a few kills. But now, with looking toward the next temple phase, we're just going to spread back out and start to soak the lanes as much as possible, get some bruisers out on the board too, but picking these up earlier on and clearing them out. They may lose these before, so they may not have them pushing during the temple phase, which is what teams always really like to have.
Well, Bruiser's being cleaned up here on the top by 2ARC. That's going to give them a little extra push. That will, if left uncontested, could do some serious damage. Again, they do have the Brightwing though, so they can send her top to not only deal with the Bruisers, but just stall out any lane that they want. Full level lead still for 2ARC as they're heading towards those level 13 talents. We'll see what they're going to do there. But with the double shrine spawning, got one in the top and one in the bottom. We'll just see which one each team wants to contest. Will we see a potential force fight coming out from 2ARC because they do have that experience advantage, or are they willing to go for the trade?
Both teams pretty even in structures. Mid-fort is a bit lower for eLevate side, but I think the main concern is whoever gets the bottom temple is really close to this boss, and that means that with Brightwing up toward the top, they will have to at least try to keep an eye on it. It's a lot easier to keep an eye on things with Tyrande too. You can always just send the Sentinel up. And for now, 2ARC are just going to hold on to this bottom one. They know they almost have 13 too, so eLevate can't really contest that. They're going to keep Brightwing up at the top too. But this could be a potential for 2ARC to try to grab a fight once they get that talent advantage. Iron Skin has to be used. Great Gravity Lapse comes in and eliminates Jaina. Devouring Maw has one person in there too. Can they catch them? Force Wall goes down. Tiger JK in a lot of trouble, gets polymorphed and runs right into the Void Prison. Going to run away with the speed boost from Sprint, really making sure that Tiger can stay alive from that. Mosh Pit goes down onto 2 members, but gets stalled out. Good Gravity Lapse to make sure that doesn't happen. Tiger JK still very low, but Nesper and Nightmare are having trouble trying to get over and take her out.
Oh, that's such a struggle here for eLevate. I can't believe they haven't secured more kills just yet. But there they go. They get the Grave Ups in the Sunshine. There they go. Finally getting that kill. Nice shields coming out as well from June, and they do get that 2-for-0 exchange. Really well won fight by eLevate. That even with experience, they're going to be able to get the most of these shots here in the bottom. Great heals coming out from June as well. 18 seconds still on ETC. It's really interesting, really actually slow rotations coming out from 2ARC. There's no need for them to actually be down here anymore. The moment they lost ETC, they should have rotated up, potentially gone for top. They cannot win this fight. They're going to force them off momentarily, but this is a tough fight for them to try and win. I feel like they would have gotten more out of top if they would have just taken a few of the shots up there. Plus shield goes out there. Boss has to reposition himself, and as he is getting very low. LZ Gamer has to use his phase shift as well, so he's going to end up having to play a little bit more defensive. Still a few shots left down there, as eLevate is fairly out completely running out of mana. They're going to go ahead and give up the last of these shots. They did get most of them, and then they still have the full top that they can contend with. Even talent here.
Once again, we have groupies picked up for ETC, and I'm really impressed from eLevate to be able to win that fight being down level 13 talent here, especially since it's such a big one for their team with Wormhole and Chain Bomb. And I was wondering if we were going to have a pause come in, as Nesper has left the game yet again. So while we are on this break, how do you feel the game's going so far, Zoya?
eLevate's doing a good job of keeping themselves in this fight. I think the lack of focus fire on the end of 2ARC is causing them to lose a lot of engagements. They do have decent AoE damage. I mean, you have the Chain Lightning, the Storms from Tastar, and then of course Blizzard from Jaina. But they're splitting their damage a lot, and you see constantly that Zagara, Zeratul, even Joanna and Kel'Thas are all at last hit, and if they just focus fired a little bit better, they would be able to secure kills and snowball them in the fight in their favor.
If that mosh pit had gone on for just a little bit longer, too, they would have been able to get somebody. It was good that they had Gravity Lops and were able to stop that, as they really have to make sure that they can stop that, as we talked about before. No cleanse. But we're back into the game. And it looks like we're going to have 2ARC starting to work on the boss, but even talent tier, they should realize this. They already do realize this with seeing everybody off the map. And remember, they've got Void Prison. It is up. Devouring Maw is up too, so they have the potential to zone people out of this.
Oh my god, a 4-man VP in the backline as well. Can they get the boss down and onto the point? Hawkfu does get the follow-up Maw. Four people inside of it, and this could be devastating for 2ARC. Sunshine is being focused far down, but he does get there. A nice channel stock from Tiger JK. Trader tries to get the turnaround kill onto Zagar. Ring of Frost and Ice Block have been used. Trader trying to kill Hawkfu, but they don't get the kill. ETC falls as well. LZ Gamer trying to trade out with Tiger JK against Nesper, but I don't know if they can get the kill. Lunar Flare does end up securing that kill, but now LZ way too low to survive this. Polymorph going to help secure that kill. He gets the last shield down. Cronin coming up. Can LZ get out of it? Needs one more condemn. No Iron Skin follow up, and LZ somehow surviving a 3-for-1 exchange with the boss. Goes over to eLevate. They have about a half-level lead right now, and there's still that top shrine available, Gilly.
That is the problem when you go up against, we talked about Falstad and picking up bosses versus him with Mighty Gust, but the Void Prison and the Devouring Maw were so perfect. They just didn't even have a chance of getting someone on the point, and even if 1 or 2 people were out, they were just going to get eliminated as soon as they get onto the point with the damage that's coming out from eLevate. And that's huge now for them. They had the boss. They were able to get so many structures down, which means the temples are going to be pushing in on much more experience-giving targets with eliminating that final tower. LZ Gamer doing what he can to shield the structures just as much as possible to slow down. But with that, they've definitely taken a big lead in terms of structures.
Yes, our Elevate's in a very nice spot right now. They've done a great job so far in this late game, but 2ARC's not out of it just yet. They're just about to hit 16 themselves, as Elevate has that 16 already. It'll be Holy Renewal on Joanna. We'll be seeing Rending Cleave, which seems to be the go-to talent here in North America now for Zeratul. Trader taking some light damage, good Wormhole out, and that's an early Shadow Stock popped here from 2ARC. Nice, just a really good job from Nesper. He did that all by himself. He forced a heroic, he caused them to panic a little bit. That's 45 seconds without the Shadow Stock.
Yeah, and it was good to come in. Nesper didn't have to put himself in a compromising position to be able to spot that out, because they did have Peekaboo from Brightwing, so we stood there, allowed her to come in and give the vision over that to be able to see. But the Bruisers still were picked up by 2ARC at least, and they have level 16 too, so they're caught back up for the talent tiers. Sunshine, can he get a good mosh pit? He's looking for it now. They need to stay spread out as they move into this force wall, keeping them from coming in here, but a good Void Prison once again on 4 members. Devouring Maw does not catch anyone though. A Trader once again with a big Ring of Frost. This time gets 2 people down with a Sundering as well. Kel'Thas and Zagara already out. ETC though is going to fall too.
Nesper's going to go down, but he does end up getting Tiger JK a 2-for-3 exchange in favor of 2ARC. Really nice job from 2ARC surviving that combo. I think the story of the fight is Hawkfu missing his Devouring Maw. If that would have connected, even with just one person, that could have been a completely different fight. And you got to really give it over to Trader here, who's been playing Jaina phenomenally in both these fights. Even the one at the boss, he lands a nasty Ring of Frost into a Blizzard combo, and both times Zagara has just been completely dominated. Hawkfu barely lived at the boss fight, but this time with that combo, Trader solo took out 2 people by himself with that Ring of Frost Blizzard combo.
Yeah, and then Sundering right after that was just devastating. Even from Thrall 2 to be able to just do damage to the person in front of him, but to help along with that Ring of Frost 2. The combos from them are really possible, and it's only going to get scarier from here. But it's been back and forth from both of these teams in the fights, and eLevate still has the structural lead. No keeps down on either side, but the next tempo phase is right about to spawn neck and neck for experience for both eLevate and 2ARC.
Yeah, it's very, very close. It's a very evenly matched game here, but looks like they're trying to contest this camp down here as Brightwing's just sitting top, just soaking experience, keep pushing in that lane. Caps this up the watchtower just so they had a little extra vision so they know she's safe. But, Hawkfu getting punished so hard. Blessed Shield comes out a little bit late there. Ring of Frost not connecting with anyone. But, June, why did you dive in on that just like that? He's so low. He does get the blink kill out, but the chase is happening. BP has to be used from Nesper, but Sunshine flanking up. Brightwing is in a lot of trouble here. Gilly, he's got no one to blink kill to. He's trying to get to Nesper. Nice blink over the wall, and it looks like he will barely survive this. He's still in trouble. He's going the wrong way. Nesper's so far away. He tries to blink kill the minions. Does he have another blink kill up? He gets hit by the Lunar Flare. The Owl connects as well. Condemned used. He gets the blink kill back. June is on the escape of his life. The amazing escape, and it is completed. He gets behind the wall, but did they lose Boss Floss because of a great force wall coming out from LZ Gamer? Phase Shift has been used. He keeps him alive for a half second. Can they get behind the wall? Lunar Flare hits with 2 people. The gravity lapse from Nightmare is enough to keep them alive. What just happened?
I don't know. Iron Skin was used so early there and had to run all the way around the force wall. I do not know how they got Johanna out. I mean,
that escape
even Brightwing
stalled out so long to the point that Zagara is back alive. And they can still contest the shrine. It's barely lost any shots, but they're gonna go sneak a boss, Gilly.
Tyrande, okay, so Tyrande has to realize they only see Brightwing on here. They know that everyone else is here, and they're coming all the way down. They all realize it immediately. And as soon as the temple stopped, eLevate just back off of the boss, and they move over and pick up their giants instead. And so it's going to be this like cat and mouse back and forth. Crowan now going back up to the top, and that should prompt them to start working on the boss maybe once again, or steal the giants at least. Okay, there goes the Sentinel, checking on the boss once again. Should see this. They're going to pick up the giants. Brightwing still just split-soaking as much as possible. They are starting to lose this experience advantage and could find themselves up against the level 22 arc if not careful.
I like this decision making. They waited for the owl to come out. They showed that they were doing giants, and then they knew that they A, had the opportunity to go for boss, and B, the main thing that what triggered them going back on the boss again was the fact that Void Prison just came off of cooldown, and it is used right there to secure this boss. That's going to be a second boss, and this is a boss pushing bottom lane with 4 siege giants. If this can go unpunished here, this could be a huge play for eLevate that will swing experience potentially in their favor, but 2ARC so close to that level 20. Good Blizzard coming out from Trader to clean up these giants. They're just about to fall, so not really getting any value out of these giants so far. Good job from 2ARC to clean those up very quickly, but this boss is very, very healthy. This should be the first keep of the game. eLevate
needs to be really careful here, because if you're leaving, you're going to be going most likely over this death bridge where the combo can easily take out some people. Sundering, Mosh Pit, Ring of Frost are all terrifying to deal with there, so they need to be careful. They also are nearly up against Storm Talon, so maybe leaving pretty soon, just throwing out whatever poke they can until that point happens, trying to at least make sure that they get this. ETC, though, goes down, and that's really big for eLevate.
Yeah, that's 60 seconds without ETC. They secure themselves that keep, and there are 2 bruiser camps on the map that they can go contest. And that also gives them a situation where, yes, 2ARC would have beaten them to 20, but now because of that 20 advantage being down 4 versus 5, there's no fear on the end of eLevate that 2ARC's going to be able to get an advantage with this 20-tier talent.
By the way, once again, we have backdraft pick up for Kael'thas, so not having the Arcane Barrier, and if he finds himself in the position where he gets hit by that Ring of Frost and the huge combo from Jaina, we may see Kael'thas quickly taken out of the fight, But if they can keep those slows going, it will be really nice for them, as they should be able to pick up a kill there, especially for the poke damage from Zagara, the chain bomb damage from Kael'thas, of course, and then Zeratul to keep up to now 12 seconds still until ETC's back in this fight. We have Storm Talons. Anything look interesting to you, Zoya?
Taking a look at them now, again, it's going to be rewind on Brightwing. We talked about it last game, just how the extra lockdown from Polymorph was great. So many Bolts of the Storms here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything too different. We're seeing rewind from Tiger JK, just for the extra stuns, extra lockdown, and the extra healing. Sometimes we see the Shadow Stock upgrade on Tyrande, but overall, yeah, nothing weird.
Yeah, I like Shooting Star too, because of the fact that Jaina has been so good at being able to catch people in the backline with the Ring of Frost. Having that extra damage on that, plus the increased range from Lunar Blaze, just means that they're going to have a really easy time for Tyrande to be able to follow up from that without giving up her position. And if she does, she still has Sprint to be able to get herself out.
So close this game. They're trying to contest this. This could go any man's point any second here in the top lanes being pushed in by Bruisers. This is a great time to be eLevate, as that value is very, very helpful. And they're going to go ahead and rotate down to the bottom shrine. And Tuark has to respond like this. They have to rotate aggressively with these guys, keep on top of them. They can't let them get any shots, as that mid keep is very, very low. Top keep taking some damage as well. One shrine goes in favor of them. That's going to be really bad. And then you're seeing the power of Backdraft. They're doing actually a lot of slows, clumping them up, allowing the damage to be even more spread out. Condemn comes out from Boss Boss. Two-man maul on the side. Polymorph used onto ETC. Ring of Frost connects with two people, but Trader having trouble getting in range, but there's a Sundering Blizzard combo, and they get the kill on the Hawkfu. June trying to keep himself alive. VP using the backline. Trader still alive. Lack of focus fire on the end of eLevate is making this a struggle, but great chain bombs coming out, but that's a huge mosh pit. No way to interrupt it, and this could be a complete wipe. Sunshine trying to stay alive here. Nightmare and Boss Flash trying to escape. Everyone on the end of Tuark is so low. One bad chain bomb could be the game here for them. They get the living bomb onto Chrome, but I don't think it matters. That's a dead kill. Boss Flash gets hit by the force wall. That is going to be a 5-for-0 exchange as he's trying to get away. Iron Skin has been popped. First Lunar Flare does end up missing, but the roots fall up there. Indestructible has been popped. Sunshine should be able to secure that kill himself, and you immediately see the rest of Tuark just heading mid lane. They're going to get that keep Gilly and potentially go for core.
I mean, top keep is really low already, so I like the decision to even rotate up to that too and just push that down. Is it's even less time that they have to be worried on not doing core damage. It's 9 seconds until Zagara's up. No Devouring Maw to help with us. No Void Prison once Zeratul's up too in 14 seconds. So this is going to be hard for them to hold, and I think we're looking at Tuark being able to bring it back to game number 3, Zoya.
Yeah, they're trying their hardest right now. They're on the core. Zeratul's up in 4 seconds, but no VP. Not enough damage here to push them off of this. LZ Gamer's getting low, but I think you're right, Gilly. 30%, that's going to be it. Tuark focus firing down the core. They're going to tie up the series 1-1.
Whew, the Tuark's backline focus is just brutal that game. With the Ring of Frost, the Sundering, the combo from Jaina, the Shooting Star damage from Tyrande, like it was just like, okay, Johanna might be up in our faces, but Jaina's just like wrecking the back line.
Yeah, Trader straight up won the game for his team. And then finally in that last fight, we finally saw the focus fire that was needed from Tuark. They were losing most of their fights because of the lack of focus fire, and they finally did that in that last fight. Really good close there from Tuark. It felt like it was in eLevate's control most of the game, despite them being down on experience. But a nice finish there from Tuark.
Yeah, and a great mosh pit there at the end to help them get those last few kills that they needed. So good job by them. We will be going into game number 3 between these teams to see who will advance. I want to take another look at the bracket and see if we had any.
OVO Gaming ended up taking down Team Nom. Okay. And then King of Blades Alpha took on THD White. So the winner of this set will be playing against King of Blades Alpha. We're still waiting on the results for Resurgence versus Gale Force Esports.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, game number 3. See you soon.
Stop.
Collaborate and listen. Hey guys, we are back and just about ready for game number 3 between Team eLevate and 2ARC Gaming. We had a little bit of a delay, as you saw in the second game. Nesper was having some computer issues, so wanted to restart his computer. It's a really important game. The loser's not out of this series, but it's still a very long road to try to crawl back through the lower finals, and so it's a very important game for each team to try to win so that they can potentially just move through the winner's bracket and not have to play for as long today. But we are almost ready for the draft. Zoia, we're going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. Are you excited? Is your mic on? Are you not excited?
No.
Why?
So we have to wait more.
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh. So Nesper is the drafter, apparently. So we thought we had a draft, but we actually do not have a draft.
No.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the bracket. Do we have a winner between Resurgence and Gale Force?
Oh, let me check. I'm looking at Jake's stream right now. It's actually still going on. Holy.
Is it 1-1?
It is 1-0 Resurgence, but they're playing on Towers of Doom, and the core HP is 2 for Resurgence and 1 for Gale Force Esports.
Ugh. Gale Force playing out of their minds.
Well, they might be about to lose as they're down Joanna for 30 seconds and altars just spawned.
Okay. Is it a triple altar situation?
It's a double altar.
Let's...
So I think Resurgence should be about to win. Equinox can stall this out.
So Resurgence would be going up then against OVO Gaming. Guys, we do have confirmation that we will be following the winner of this series versus King of Blades Alpha into the semifinals, the winner's bracket semifinals.
It looks like Resurgence just won. Yeah, they just won.
Okay.
So 2-0 Resurgence, yeah. Sorry, I was watching. That was a crazy game. I lost tunnel vision on watching it.
That's okay.
So yeah, Resurgence will be playing OVO Gaming. And then
we have an update on Nesper. He got hit with a Windows update and is 9 out of 15 complete.
So we're gonna go back to that commercial break when we get back, guys. We're gonna have more Heroes of the Storm action.
Okay, we are back. We have a draft. It has started, so we're going to jump right into that. I believe Nesper's still figuring out computer stuff, but at least we can start the draft. So we are going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. What's happening so far? Looks like 2ARC has banned Zagara. Makes a lot of sense. It's been a big comfort pick. eLevate going to similarly ban Rhaegar. That's been the second ban for each team consistently throughout the series.
Sorry.
It's okay. And then Falstad's going to be picked up, finally making it out of the bans. Falstad's going to be picked up early for 2ARC. I cannot blame them. I mean, he provides consistent damage for the Immortals, utility from Mighty Gust, safety from that, but then also the ability to maybe pick up some kills from that. Just all around, Falstad has been a very big choice. Global presence, even, to be able to soak lanes.
Yeah, his damage is really good against the Punisher, or the
Immortals?
Okay, so I did get an update. That's what I was typing about.
Okay.
Perfect Name is no longer banned. It got fixed.
Oh, okay.
It is no longer banned. The only thing banned this tournament is Leaping and Stitches.
So it had been fixed and it was still banned for the last qualifier, but now it is back in.
Yeah, it's bad. That's what I was confused about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fixed now. So we're good. Perfect Name is no longer banned. Yeah, pretty normal draft coming out so far from these guys. eLevate getting the Jaina. Just a lot of burst damage. And, it's interesting to see, with the Stitches ban being introduced, we're seeing a lot of early ETC pickups.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, with the changes that came into Muradin, that reduced his popularity and really brought Stitches into the forefront. But then with having Stitches out for this tournament, it really limits who you can have as that tanky frontliner hero. So each team has been really prioritizing trying to have it. And so far, ETC has the win rate. Whoever has had him thus far in this series has been the team to take the victory.
Yeah. We'll see if that's going to stick true. Falstad and Kael'thas both really good at sieging down the Immortals. So really good pickups here from 2ARC. We'll see what their last pick's going to be. Will it be a support? We've seen eLevate been putting priority into that Brightwing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this will be an Illidan game, though. Not with a Falstad and a Kael'thas as its support. And they're actually going to go pick up Uther. That is actually really surprising right now.
Why do you say that?
The supports are just such a good position right now with the rise of Karazim. You got Lieutenant Morales, who's closer to the top as well. Uther has fallen down quite a bit, and to the point that he goes unpicked, unbanned through most drafts, and to the point that in hot slogs, Uther has a shockingly low win rate there as well. Overall, as this hero, he has been struggling in the current meta.
So eLevate have twice banned Uther in the second round of bans versus 2ARC, which makes me wonder if it's a big pick specifically for 2ARC. Whether it's just a comfort for Tiger JK or the fact that they like being able to have the Divine Shield for more aggressive playstyles with the melee assassin. Maybe that's the concern there. Thus far, next bans are going to be Tyrande for 2ARC and Thrall for eLevate, so at least taking the Sundering away from 2ARC. That was a big problem for eLevate to try to deal with in the last game.
Well, we'll see what eLevate's going to pick. Looks like it's going to be Lunara. I mean, really good on this map when it comes to sieging. Get those Immortals burnt down. The problem with Lunara, though, is she's late scaling. Doesn't start getting momentum until 13 and 16. So if you're willing to lose the early game and pick her up, she can work. But they go ahead and are hovering other things. I mean, I know you're a fan of it, but eLevate really seems like Brightwing, and that's a bit peculiar to me. Brightwing is not a bad support in a sense, but definitely not contested this much. But it looks like it's going to be Zeratul, the pickup, on the rise to becoming potentially the best melee assassin right now outside of Thrall.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and with the changes to Thrall, that adds to it a little bit, both reducing his auto attack damage and then adding the cooldown to Sundering that you mentioned earlier. Looks like they're also hovering Lunara. I like the choice to leave their support until the end. They can wait and flex that looking at what 2ARC picks for their last 2 picks. But then also, because of the fact that 2ARC already picked up their support, that's not something that eLevate have to worry about something getting stolen. If it is the Brightwing that they really want, they can pick up their damage dealers here and make sure.
But
What?
we've seen double support with Brightwing
We
on this map
have.
before.
But Uther Brightwing,
I said the same thing about the last time we
and
saw
then
that.
Rhaegar Brightwing.
So, but yeah, Rhaegar.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Rhaegar's the new Sonya, so...
Rhaegar's the new best hero at every role in the game, so that made a little bit more sense there. 2ARC going to go ahead and pick up the Muradino Cappuccino himself. Been a while since we've seen him. Goes through a lot of draft, and no certain teams at Cloud9 still like Muradin a lot just because it fits their playstyle quite a bit, but we'll be seeing him here. And then who will be the last pickup here for 2ARC? Will it be another Warrior? Will it be potentially a Shooter Sport? And there he is, Greymane.
Nice.
Greymane's seeing a lot of love in Europe right now.
Yeah. Occasionally picked up here too, but way more in Europe. I love the difference in builds from him too. I like that he hasn't really settled into just like one straight build that's already picked, kind of like Kilthos. Tends to be either the more poke-centered backline Gilnean cocktail build, or these ones that have developed that are more focused on him being able to be in his Worgen form and really take advantage of that 40% increased attack damage when he is in the Worgen form. But we'll see what they choose to do with it. Finally, we're going to have one more pick for eLevate. It will be their support. Will it be Brightwing once again? Are they going to be looking at something else? Karzium still in play. The little fairy dragon's being hovered. I mean, if they can get a good, like... Think about if Greymane tries to jump in, they'll have them slowed from Lunara's poison or from Jaina, and then she'll be doing extra damage because they'll most likely pick up unfair advantage. But then on top of that, there's a slow from Polymorph, and if they can get greater Polymorph, Greymane's gonna have a tough time hopping in onto this team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Man, it's so curious to me that eLevate puts this much priority into Brightwing. I mean, all 3 games, right? They've had Brightwing. Yeah. And, you know, like I said, she's not necessarily bad. She's got situational picks, but seeing her all 3 games is definitely interesting. So we'll see how this draft is going to play out.
All right, guys, we'll be getting into the game very soon. This is game number 3 between these 2 teams. The winner will face King of Blades Alpha in the winner's bracket semifinals. Do we have Nesper in here yet?
No, we do not.
Okay. Should be here any minute.
Hopefully.
Don't forget there are other streams going on too, guys. Not that we want you to leave, but just in case you want to know what other teams are playing, you can go to twitch.tv/team/Heroes Esports to see all of the different streams that are going on. And we'll be ready pretty soon. I'm excited for Battlefield of Eternity. I'm really excited for eLevate's composition. There are a lot of slows. And Lunara, unfair advantage. The pairing just alone with Lunara and Jaina puts out a lot of damage. Whether you're going for Numbing Blast because of you want the control and the lockdown, but especially if you get Northern Exposure and have vulnerability at 16. But add to that Zeratul, he gives slows. Brightwing gives slows. That's like I said, Greymane's got his work cut out for him, but really Uther has his work cut out for him as well. Yeah. Trying to keep everyone alive through that.
We'll see how it's going to go, Billy. This is going to be a really interesting matchup here on Battlefield. Both teams have reasonably good poke. If I have to give... I think I have to give it to... I think 2ARC's got the better draft. I think eLevate's just a little bit too late game. Zeratul doesn't start getting steam on this map until 13. It's hard for him to pressure Immortals until he gets Wormhole. Lunara's way too late game as well. And I think it's cute that they're doing the Brightwing picks constantly, but I'm still not a fan about it.
With ETC up against Falstad, Uther with Cleanse, Kael'thas with Gravity Lapse, Bird and Stuns, I'm wondering if they'll do Mosh Pit and maybe just try to use it as more of like a pick if they catch somebody out of position, like take them out, burst them down really fast before anyone can get into the position. Yeah. Or if they'll look for those big team fight changing Mosh Pits, because it's going to be really hard for them to make that happen with all of the different stuns that 2ARC have to stop that, and especially Mighty Gust.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It all comes down to the decision making and what's right in the moment for the ETC. I do feel that sometimes ETC players are a little bit too reserved with their use of mosh pit. Sometimes we'll see entire games go by where it's only been used once. So using it for just even a pick on 2 members can be enough to get you momentum in the game. Nisper. Where are you? One day we will have. Yep, sorry guys, we're just waiting on Nesper here. Series is tied 1-1. Again, taking a look at the bracket, Resurgence versus Gale or OVO is going to be happening on Jake's stream, and then over on Shane Gucher's stream, we're going to have Team Nom going up against Gale Force Esports. That is going to be the first elimination match of the tournament. So we're already at that point where teams getting kicked out very, very soon. King of Blade Alpha waiting on the winner of this set.
Yeah, and the loser of this set will go on to face THC White, also in the lower bracket round of 4 in the other elimination match. Again, top 2 teams will qualify because it's double elimination. It will be the winner of the winner bracket finals and then the winner of the lower bracket finals. We will not play the finals as we're just looking to find the last 2 teams who will qualify and join Bob Ross Fan Club, Cloud9, Tempo Storm, Cognitive Gaming, Panda Global, and Team Blaze at regionals February 27th and 28th, the ESL Studios in Burbank. So that's going to be exciting. Li Ming will be in play then. She has not been in play for any of these qualifiers. Not sure if there will be any sort of patch to change her or if she will be going in as is, which is pretty strong.
Yeah, she's very good. From the scrims I've been seeing, first pick, first ban every single time. And very rarely does she go unbanned. Very rarely. It's like old Toronto almost. Not as bad. Definitely not as bad as old Toronto was let through maybe 1 in 20 drafts. And then Li Ming's currently let in like maybe 1 in 5 to 10.
All right, guys. I'm going to check back in with the teams. See what's going on. Okay, so they've got a couple of minutes. We're going to take a break until we can get the game ready. So hang tight, guys. We at least have a draft, Zoya.
We at least have a draft, but we'll see if we actually get that game. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right, guys, we're back with an update about the situation. Admins have decided that eLevate has to forfeit their game, so that means that 2ARC will advance to the next stage where they'll be facing King of Blades Alpha. eLevate aren't out of it yet. They will drop down into the lower bracket, and hopefully they can get Nesper in as soon as possible because they do have to go up against THC White right away. So that's the situation with what's going on with each team. We, on this stream, will be covering 2ARC versus King of Blades Alpha. We already contacted King of Blades and are going to try to get that game set up just as soon as possible, and I do have a response from one of the King of Blades team members, so that should be very soon. Bear with us. We will be back with the first game in that series. Hopefully a great series to come, guys. See you soon.